What's good, everybody? It's your boy Kenny C here with another edition of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Tonight's show, we will look back at SummerSlam. Gonna recap Raw, SmackDown, talk some Impact, talk about the WWE video game, all that good stuff. So stick around, get yourself comfortable, or better yet, make sure you do get yourself comfortable because Triple Threat Wrestling Radio is coming up momentarily. We just finished off with the Rat Bastard Sports Show. So I'm going to try to get Jeff on here momentarily. We don't have an interview scheduled tonight, and it's probably a good thing that we don't have an interview scheduled tonight, because majority of the show will probably focus on SummerSlam anyway. So that's good to know. That is good to know. So let me go ahead and look for Jeff. Let me look for Jeff and get him on here so we can get this Triple Threat Wrestling Radio show up and running. Trying to get Jeff in here, so just sit tight, guys and girls. Alright, and welcome wrestling fans to another edition of Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on itmiradio.com. Thank you everybody for joining us. We are officially live on the air right now. So let me go ahead and get the co-host on here right now, and he's here with us right now. What's going on?
What's up, you rat bastard?
Good. How are you?
Good.
All right. So we just in the dog days of the summer, but things continue to heat up in the wrestling world. We are just days removed for SummerSlam.
That was some fucking shit going on there, huh?
Yes, it was. And it's probably is a good thing that we don't have our interview scheduled tonight, because we're probably going to focus on SummerSlam for most.
We don't have an interview tonight?
Nope. No interview tonight.
Cool. I kind of like that.
Occasionally, yeah.
Well, actually, I was kind of hoping for the interview. I was going to run in and cook my goddamn pork chops during the interview.
Oh, well. You can do that after the show then.
I can. After the show, I'm busy.
Yeah, right. So let's talk SummerSlam, man. Let's start off with some SummerSlam.
Okay. We talked on Saturday, you and I, a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Also about wrestling, and also last Thursday as well. And you said to me that there was only 4 matches scheduled. And when I went and looked, and those were only 4 matches scheduled. And come Sunday, there wasn't just 4 matches, was there?
No, that's just how it started. But then they had a last-minute match with Miz, Del Rio, and Truth against what the hell, Mysterio, Morrison, and some other guy I can't get off the top of my head.
Okay, what do you want to start off with? You want to start off with the championship match?
Yeah.
Which one?
Let's go.
Cena and Punk?
Yeah, we might as well go ahead and start off with Cena and Punk, because there was a lot of stuff happened in that match. Now, we talked on this show last week about Triple H being the referee and wonder if he was going to call it right down the middle, which he did. He did call it right down the middle. And then he also said on the Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam, he's going to do his hardest not to make any mistakes.
Oops.
Yeah, oops is indeed. CM Punk with the go to sleep on Cena, hooks the leg, but Cena's other leg was on the bottom rope, and Triple H right there. It's not like he was behind Cena and Punk or whatever.
Well, he was kind of blocked, though.
Yeah.
He was kind of blocked, though, and I could see from his point of view that he didn't see the foot on the ropes. I could understand that.
Yeah. He said he wasn't gonna make a mistake, and obviously that's like a circumstance beyond his control. He wasn't in a good position. Besides, he was too busy keeping an eye on Cena's shoulder. His shoulder was down, 1, 2, 3, but the foot was on the rope.
Right.
But in the
right. He didn't look up. That was the
No.
problem. He didn't look up.
He didn't look
If he would have
up.
looked up, he probably would have seen it.
And this is the second time this year in a pay-per-view that a match ended up like that. Go back go back to Capital Punishment. Christian versus Randy Orton. Orton wins, but Christian's foot was on the bottom rope. Referee not in a good position to see if he was on the rope or not.
Right.
So, unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, that fucking Albert Del Rio did the right thing though, and I understand why Punk is not upset with Del Rio at all.
No,
because he's done that before, and that was the perfect position to do it.
Yeah.
The only thing I was shocked about that fucking Kevin Nash actually came over and did that.
Of all people, Kevin Nash. I mean, the last time I seen this dude was at the Royal Rumble back in January. He was at the Royal Rumble match, and of course, he looked like Big Daddy Cool Diesel all over again. He dyed the hair brown and everything. And Nash and WWE did a good job of how they had the camera, because as Cena and Triple H was leaving the ring, and then they turned the camera view to CM Punk as he's celebrating, and there was Nash right there, 7 foot tall, 300+ pound dude, clotheslines Punk, power bombs him, and that pretty much led to Del Rio.
Well, yeah, you got to
cashing
be a
in.
moron, man, not to come out and with your fucking Money in the Bank goddamn box and get your championship. Am I right?
Yeah, that's how the Money in the Bank briefcase rolled. That's how it goes. Punk coming off of a 40-minute match with John Cena.
That was a long fucking match, huh?
Yeah, like a 40-minute match. And then he gets clothesline and powerbomb. And obviously that wasn't enough left for Punk to recover. Del Rio did what he had to do. And that's why he is the undisputed champion right now.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And now for the 8th time in the history of Money in the Bank briefcase, has been successfully cashed in, and the new champion is crowned. Let's not forget Del Rio tried to do it on Punk at the previous pay-per-view Money in the Bank, but was unsuccessful. Punk, similar to SummerSlam, 40-minute match with Cena. You would think the man was fatigued and all, but he was quick to beat up Del Rio and just walked off of Chicago with the gold. So, as for Kevin Nash himself, he explained his actions and why he did it. And according to Kevin Nash, it was due to business. It was due to business. That's the reason why he did what he did. And he told the crowd that he was invited to SummerSlam by Triple H himself. Now, obviously, Nash and Triple H, good friends. They were part of the clique back in the 1990s, back in the day. And, so they have a good friendship. And Nash asked, hey, can I come to SummerSlam? He said, sure, I got you tickets. You just get on SummerSlam and watch the show. And then Nash said before the main event at SummerSlam,
he got a text.
He got a text.
Yeah.
And the text, however, Kevin Nash did not say who the text was from. All it said was, could you do me a favor right after the match, regardless of who the champion, stuck the champion for me. He did what he was told. Punk is not happy about Nash's interference. But
that's why they're going to bring Nash back, and the Punk and Nash are going to have a nice little rivalry going on. And Cena's going to beat the crap out of Del Rio, get the belt back, and then go from there.
That's what it appears. That looks like it's going to happen. But now the question is, who sent Kevin Nash that text that pretty much went after Punk? Now, people are saying maybe it's Triple H. After all, he's the one that invited Punk to SummerSlam in the first place, and he and Punk haven't been getting along, since he became the COO.
Well, maybe his wife, maybe fucking Stephanie did it.
Uh, that's another thing I want to bring up. Maybe it's Stephanie. After all, they had that little talk at SummerSlam, and CM Punk in true fashion became a smartass about it. And then when Stephanie tried to shake her hand, trying to shake his hand, Punk said, "I don't want to shake your hand. I know where that hand's been." And then
how about Mr. McMahon himself?
Well, that is a good point. McMahon has not been seen since he's been relieving his duties, and obviously, we all know what happened with Punk and his rant and everything led to him being suspended, then reinstated, and then Punk wants to be the one responsible that McMahon's no longer in WWE television right now. How about the other guy? What about his right hand man, John Laurinaitis? He's
another. Think he did that?
I will at least make him a suspect, because let's not forget, he got punched in the face by John Cena at Money in the Bank, and he got kicked in the back of the head by CM Punk on that contract signing over a week ago. So your suspects are Triple H, Stephanie, and I guess you can add Vince to the mix, or John Laurinaitis. It's one of those four.
Why are they bringing that douchebag John Laurinaitis into the fold, into the mix in wrestling?
I don't know. I have no idea why.
Maybe he's going to get his ass beat.
He obviously hasn't learned. Hey, this ain't the 1990s, man. This ain't when you was in your prime. He's like the executive vice president of talent relations.
And he's just as old as McMahon, ain't he?
No, he's not as old as McMahon.
He's got to be.
Well, if he is, he's close, but I don't think he's, that old. He doesn't even look that old. He doesn't have a lot of wrinkles on his face like Vince does. So
Inky, tell me if he's just as old as Vince.
John Laurinaitis. But yeah, CM Punk obviously pissed off at Kevin Nash, but like you said, he's not mad at Del Rio because he's done it before. As a matter of fact, CM Punk done it twice and successfully won championships out of cashing in. So how do you go from back-to-back main events with John Cena, and now you got to go deal with Kevin Nash?
What I want to know is, how do they let John Cena lose back-to-back fucking main events and pay-per-views? How the fuck does something like that happen?
Well, CM Punk is the commodity, pretty much. He's been the commodity. He's been talked about the most. So I guess they kind of let him. Obviously, he was going to have this moment regardless at Money in the Bank. But at SummerSlam, it looked like it could have gone either way. But hey, it's not like CM Punk cheated or anything. He was clean the whole way, and he won under unfortunate circumstances. But hey, Cena's lost a lot of pay-per-view matches before, and it won't be the last. So that's just the way it is. Okay, we got the word from Dr. Myth saying Laurinaitis is in his 40s, and McMahon.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I'm maybe
that I don't believe.
You don't believe Laurinaitis in his 40s?
No, I don't believe that at all.
What about the 50s?
I believe that.
Yeah, probably the 50s, because he had a long wrestling career. Yeah.
Ain't no way Laurinaitis is in his 40s. Fuck, I'm 45, and that guy looks worse than I do, for Christ's sakes. Okay? If he is 45, then he looks like crap.
Oh, and speaking of Stephanie, she was also at Raw this past week, and act all sympathetic towards Punk. I'm sorry you lost the championship. But
I thought that was pretty funny.
But you know what they say, people get exactly what they deserve. So yeah, that was kind of like her comeback to Punk, because Punk has been a smartass. And let's face it, everybody has waited for CM Punk to finally get his. He has been wanting his mouth. So CM Punk knows at some point that karma was coming for wanting his mouth. He wants his mouth so much for the last 2-3 months. And that was funny how he joked around with Kevin Nash and all, but the stuff prior, the man's been running his mouth.
Hey, Monday night, those bodyguards, who were they there to stop? Punk from going in the ring or Kevin Nash coming out of the ring to kick his ass?
I'm going to say they wanted to protect Nash. Well, how the hell Kevin Nash needs protection anyway?
Exactly. I don't think they were for him. I think they were there. Punk put him there to make it look like Kevin put him there.
I think it's Kevin Nash. He's been in the business for a long time. He knows a thing or two about try to, take the easy way.
Why would Kevin Nash need security for that little punk?
That is a good question. He's 7 foot tall, and he's 300 plus pounds. I mean, a 7-footer should never need security unless someone is taller than him. Unless
is John Laurinaitis going to sign that son of a bitch?
I think he's already signed because remember, Laurinaitis was at Raw as well, and he was talking to Kevin Nash, and they had their discussion backstage. So I think that's Laurinaitis' way of saying, Kevin Nash, welcome to the WWE. So
is Triple H bringing back all those old cronies?
That's what CM Punk assumes.
Yeah, I know.
He assuming that he's bringing it back. Next thing you know, who's gonna come back on the next pay-per-view? X-Pac? Then
no,
Shawn
you'll
Michaels?
fucking have HBK.
Nah, Michaels he'll come back occasionally, but I don't expect Michaels to wrestle again. He's done. He's like 46, 47 years old. Shawn Michaels is.
And what's the deal with Jimmy fucking Hart? That little puke.
What about Jimmy? Oh, Jimmy Hart. Oh yeah, that's right. He was at SummerSlam talking to R-Truth. That was kind of a funny segment talking about the little Jimmys, and obviously his name is Jimmy. And then there were some celebrities making appearances. L.A. Ford, Juan Artest was there.
Yeah. Meta World Peace. You mean?
Oh, excuse me. Meta World Peace. Yeah.
Thank you.
I can't believe he's changed his name to Meta World Peace. That's unbelievable. But then again, he's just
following an Ocho Cinco steps.
Ocho Cinco sounds a lot better than Meta World Peace. Come on now. Come on. Although Nash's career seems dead with his 2 stints in TNA. When he was in TNA, he looked like he had the white hair, and he looked like he was 70 years old with that white hair. Kevin Nash. So
that was El Natural.
Yeah, he was. So he obviously went with the hair clip for men.
Yep.
To dye that hair to brown, to Big Daddy Cool Diesel brown or whatever. Kevin Nash has not been in a wrestling match as far as one-on-one since his stint at TNA. So, and Kevin Nash did say he wants to be part of the WWE one more time. He's gonna have his chance, but I don't expect him to be with WWE for very long anyway. Probably be.
I don't expect him to wrestle every week. I expect him to wrestle maybe a week before pay-per-view, then the pay-per-view, and then wrestle again a week after.
Yes.
Or a night after.
Speaking of which, WWE has been hit hard with injuries. You can now add Rey Mysterio to the list. He got hurt bad against Del Rio at Monday Night Raw, especially when Del Rio went after his arm.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, Mysterio now joins Big Show and Kane on the injury list. So you can pretty much put him out of that title picture. You gotta wonder, with Night of Champions about 4 weeks away, who should be in line for the championship?
It's gonna be Cena.
It could be Cena, or it could be like what happened last year's Night of the Champions. Have like a 6-pack challenge, which means that Rio had to take on 5 other guys.
I like that even better.
So he'll probably end up facing, let's see, Cena, Punk, Nash, Morrison, and Truth.
Oh God.
Those are 6 guys right there, and it's also gonna happen with the World Heavyweight Championship as well, which kind of leads to the next thing. That was funny as hell what Edge did at SummerSlam, acting like he was gonna help out his best friend Christian, and said, "You know what? Win it on your own." And I also like when Edge said, "You know what? You're gonna be my friend no matter what. I just never thought that you end up being a whiny little bitch." And he just left. And let's just say Captain Charisma got his ass whooped big time.
It was nice to see.
He went through not 1, not 2, but 3 tables. And to make matters worse, he got RKO through the stairs. That was, I think
that was a sick fucking move there.
Yeah.
That was hellacious.
It's just how he does the RKO, man. It's just effective. But when you put it on the stairs, I mean, damn. Right on the chest. I mean, he probably coughed a lot after that match.
He fucked that boy up.
Yeah, they had the EMTs waiting for Christian.
There was a couple people going to the hospital that fucking night.
It was a long time coming for Christian, because at Money in the Bank, he beat the system with with help from the lawyers. He knew Randy Orton was gonna be mad, so he spit him on the face. Orton reacted by kicking him in the nuts, causing a disqualification. Christian ended up being champion. People don't have problem with Christian. They just have problem how he won that match at Money in the Bank, pretty much. So, in other words, justice was served for Randy Orton, for mostly for Christian. He got what he deserved.
You knew that was coming.
I mean, RKO and the stairs, that made me hurt just watching it. Just imagine your chest going right through those stairs. Especially when you went through 3 other tables prior to that. Other matches that took place at SummerSlam, Kelly defeated Beth Phoenix. You know, people call Kelly the underdog. I can't believe she beat Beth Phoenix. I mean, damn. And Natalya was right there for Beth Phoenix.
Neither can Beth Phoenix.
I mean, don't you think that Beth Phoenix maybe underestimated Kelly, thinking that this was going to be a walk in the park?
Yep.
I mean, that's what it looked like to me. You know, I did not see that same Beth Phoenix, that intimidating. It looked like Kelly wasn't intimidated at all. And I
like
think
to fuck the shit out of that Kelly.
Yeah, she is cute, no doubt, but don't let her looks fool you. She whoops ass, and she
can whip my ass anytime.
I sure she would. Also, Wade Barrett defeated Daniel Bryan. Of course, they were on the main event at last year's WrestleMania when the Nexus took on Team WWE. So I guess in that aspect, a little payback for Wade Barrett. Now, Daniel Bryan, the only person that has a briefcase right now. Do you still think he's going to wait till WrestleMania next year to cash it in?
That's what he says.
That's what he says, but come on, after what Del Rio did, I want to.
He can only cash in on SmackDown though, right?
No, he can cash it in on either a SmackDown or pay-per-view, because Del Rio cashed it in on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but he can't come on and do it on Raw.
No, he can't do it on Raw. He can only do it on whoever is the World Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
So he's got until July of next year to cash it in. That's when next year's Money in the Bank takes place. You got 12 months to cash it in. And WrestleMania, I believe, is in March or April of next year. So he'll have time to cash it in. So yeah, he can only cash it in on whoever is the SmackDown champion, the World Heavyweight Champion, which is currently Randy Orton. Let's see who else. Of course, Del Rio won and lost at SummerSlam. He alongside with the Miz and Alberto Del Rio lost to Mysterio, to Morrison, and to someone else off the tip of my tongue. I can't remember who their tag team partner was. But yeah, so Del Rio won and lost at Money in the Bank. Oh my goodness. Sheamus, Mark Henry. Now, luckily for Sheamus, Mark Henry didn't break his ankle, but he still won the match by a cheap count out. But how he done it?
Man, you fucking wrecked him. Are you kidding me?
He sent him right into the front row, right into the barricade. He sent him, and that thing fell apart. I mean, say what you want about Mark Henry, but he earned that Monkier World's Strongest Man. He crushed Sheamus.
I'd like to see him and Nash wrestle.
Who? Sheamus or Henry?
No, Henry.
Henry versus Nash?
Yeah.
Yeah, see if Nash can powerbomb him. Yeah, good luck with that. That's like a extra 400 plus pounds. And I'm sure Nash hasn't been lifting weights in a long time, so I don't think he's built at this point of his career to be doing all of that. So that will be.
I like to see Nash kick his ass though.
Yeah, Mark Henry is on a roll, and you gotta wonder. Now that SummerSlam is over, you think Mark Henry is in line for the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton, perhaps? I mean, he took out Kane, he took out the Big Show, he took out Vladimir Kozlov, and he just beat Sheamus at SummerSlam.
Mark Henry don't have a fucking prayer.
And he's already beaten Randy Orton a few weeks ago on SmackDown. So, the way I see it, like it or not, Mark Henry should be in line next for the World Heavyweight title. I mean, who else does SmackDown have other than Daniel Bryan, who has that briefcase? I think Mark Henry's next.
Mark Henry gets it. Nobody's going to be able to take it away from him.
That's right. And just like we said about the Raw, there may be a SmackDown six-pack challenge. And I think those who joins Orton, it's going to be Christian if he gets healthy, Sheamus, Mark Henry. That's 4 people. 2 more people. Hell, might as well put Daniel Bryan and Ray Barrett in there. That would be a 6-pack challenge right there.
Thursday, Friday nights suck.
Well, they've always been the B show anyway. But they got something good going for them. Because ever since they debuted on Sci-Fi back in November of last year, they've been the #1 rated show on Sci-Fi.
That's because there's nothing else on fucking Sci-Fi Channel.
Well, they got a bunch of horror and paranormal shows. And
a bunch of whores?
I mean horror. Like scary movies, horror.
Oh, horror show.
Yeah, it's not. Come on.
I thought you said they got a bunch of whores. I'm like, what the fuck?
No. Horror movies and paranormal. That's
horror flicks.
Yeah, that's been the type of stuff that they show on Sci-Fi. And I think we lost Jeff. Jeff, you there? Wait a minute. I've been put on hold by Jeff. What the? Wait a minute. I think I've been put on hold by my own co-host. What just happened? You there, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here.
I saw that the call was put on hold for some weird reason.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did you see that the call was on hold?
Yeah.
Oh, did you put?
I didn't stop the show. It kept you going, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened just there, but anyway, we're gonna take
I gotta take this call, so I'm gonna put you on hold. I gotta take this call. You just keep doing the show.
Okay. All right, you go ahead, man. All right. Anyway, as long as you guys can hear me, that's fine. Jeff has to
Fuck, man.
take a phone call. But here, let's go ahead and get to the midpoint of the show. This day in wrestling history on August the 18th. In 1993, WCW Clash of the Champions was held in Daytona, Florida. In this pay-per-view, Arn Anderson and Paul Roma defeated Steve Austin and Steven Regal, who replaced the injured Brian Pillman. They went on to win the WCW and NWA Tag Team titles. Johnny B. Bad defeated Max Payne in a mask versus guitar match. Johnny Bad went on to win to Max Payne's guitar. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated the Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff to retain the WCW TV title, while Vader defeated Davey Boy Smith to retain the WCW World title. What a coincidence as we talk of SummerSlam. In 1996, SummerSlam took place in Cleveland, Ohio. On the Free For All show, Steve Austin defeats Yokozuna. And on this match, the top rope broke in this match when Yokozuna attempted a banzai drop. The Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart, defeated the Body Donnas, the New Walkers, Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy, and the Godwins in a fatal four-way elimination match to retain the tag team titles. Mankind defeated The Undertaker in the Boiler Room Brawl. Who could ever forget that? Mankind and The Undertaker, many matches they have had back in the 90s. And Shawn Michaels defeated Vader to retain the WWF title. As for some other title changes, the WWE Hardcore was passed for Tommy Dreamer to Shawn Stasiak to Steven Richards and back to Dreamer. Seems like every time we do this day in wrestling history, the Hardcore title change. What a joke. Happy birthday to former USWA heavyweight champion and current WWE trainer Tom Pritchard. He's 52 years old today. And in memoriam, on this day in 2005, Wrestling World lost former CZW Tag Team Champion Chris Cash to a motorcycle accident. He was only 23 years old. And that's what all happened this day in wrestling history on August the 18th. Now we're going to get to the Impact portion of the show.
We have to.
We can't have one without the other.
I know.
Tonight on Impact, Sting reacts to getting beat up by the new champion Kurt Angle and Hulk Hogan. Now Kurt Angle defeated Sting at the previous pay-per-view to win the heavyweight championship, and now he's joined forces. It appears he's joining forces with Hulk Hogan.
Nice.
So they got all these wrestlers joining Immortal. Feels like NWO all over again.
Yep. It's exactly what the fucking shit is.
I mean,
a bunch of crap, man.
You know, and as for Mr. Anderson, he may be on his way out of Immortal. He's having some issues with Brother Ray. So we'll see how that unfolds. Tonight there will be a tag team title match between Beer Money versus Mexican America. With Jeff Jarrett and Karen on color commentary. And then there's a Bound for Glory serious match between AJ Styles versus Rob Van Dam. And then there's an 8-man division gauntlet for a shot at the X Division title between Robin E versus Alex Shelley versus Jesse Shortstein versus Tony Neal, Kid Cash, Mark Haskin, Aussie Aries, and Zema On. A bunch of people you never heard of. But at least they're the younger guys of the Impact roster. So there you go. Oh, and speaking of Impact, they are going to be in Georgia throughout this weekend. As a matter of fact, they are in Columbus, Georgia right now as we speak. And then they'll be at Rome, Georgia tomorrow. And then on Saturday, they'll be at Atlanta, Georgia. Busy weekend for Impact in Georgia. Only problem is for me, it's 4 or 5 hours away from here. And I have to go.
Oh, poor baby.
And I have to go through Georgia to get to Columbus and Rome. So Impact, when you decide to come here to Augusta, then hell, maybe I'll actually be there.
I ain't going to Augusta. You know that as well as I do.
Well, WWE's coming to Augusta December 3rd. So they gotta find, they can find somewhere, something, some area I should say. So yeah, the pay-per-view coming up for Impact is called No Surrender. There's going to be a Bound for Glory series that's been going on. And it's going to determine who becomes the number one contender for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship in the October pay-per-view, which is called Bound for Glory. Now, Bound for Glory for Impact is kind of like WrestleMania to WWE, just minus the big press and stuff. But it will take place in Philadelphia. That's right around Double A's background. And that's home of the ECW as well. And seeing that you got a couple of wrestlers that used to be in ECW, it makes kind of sense. But that's their pay-per-view coming up in October. But before Bound for Glory, they got the pay-per-view called No Surrender. And it's going to be down to the final 4. Now, Kurt Angle made it clear that he's going to go after all the young superstars of Impact. Now, last week, he went after Crimson, who is the rising star of the company. He's undefeated. He's never lost since debuting on Impact. Well, with all due respect, congratulations, Crimson, on having an undefeated streak that not a whole lot of people are talking about. Unless you're Goldberg from WCW or Samoa Joe, who started his Impact career undefeated, you're not going to get a lot of press. I think they're trying to give this guy a push because he's undefeated. He's never been pinned. He's never submitted. He's going to be in that Final 4 at No Surrender tournament. And he may end up being the number one contender because they never let the guy lose. He's been undefeated for a good 6-7 months. But as they all say, all streaks must come to an end at some point. So also, Velvet Sky, who is Jeff's favorite knockout. Good God. She's been beaten up a lot as of late. She's been beaten up by ODB, which stands for Old Dirty Bitch. That is her initials there. And Jackie. You know, they've been coming back to Impact for months now. And they blame Velvet Sky for taking their spot, which is why they were released by Impact a few years back. Jackie's looking old. ODB doesn't look too old, but damn, she drinks a lot of beer. Like a female version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it's going to be interesting. The Impact coming up tonight at 9. Oh, and speaking of which, not sure if you heard, but there's reports that UFC may be parting ways with Spike, and that could make room for Impact being the flagship show of Spike. No wonder why they haven't been keeping up with WWE, because they're not even the top rated show of their own network.
Hey, they suck. It's like a retirement club for fucking wrestlers over there.
They got old guys here and there, but they got some young people too. Their only problem is they just don't build a lot of new superstars like WWE does. I mean, WWE, you're building guys like Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Ray Barrett, Jack Swagger. They got young superstars that's going to be in the company for the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
Impact, you got a bunch of guys who passed their prime, and you got a lot of new guys you got a bunch of new guys that's not going to get a lot of airtime because they're going to rely on the old guys. And most of those young guys come for the X division, the cruiserweights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. One of the reasons why they're not at WWE's level is because they're not even the top show of their own network. It's been UFC this, UFC that. It's not like they actually show new episodes of UFC. They just show reruns. And they show the Ultimate Fighter on Spike. And even those shows get more ratings than Impact. Let's not forget, they tried to be on Monday night. They tried. Ooh, sorry. They tried.
Ow!
I'm sorry. Damn. They tried. They tried to be on Monday nights with Raw, and they couldn't compete. Now, Dr. Myth in the chat room says Impact looks like they watched an old episode of WCW Thunder and decided to take the blue color. As a matter of fact, you are right, Myth. They do got the blue colors. They kind of look like SmackDown more than Thunder because they're more. Inky is getting an ear raped. Yeah, it kind of looks like SmackDown. Kind of looks like Thunder.
That's because you dropped the fucking microphone or hit it. You're killing her over there, dude.
I hit the microphone. I just did.
Well, that's why she said that then.
Oh, sorry, Inky. So there you go. That's going to conclude your Impact. Now I can get to some other stories. Now, last week we talked about WWE superstar Heath Slater. He's in trouble with the WWE for hitting on a security person that happens to be female. I'm going to get to that story momentarily. But before I get to that story, I do have some news on former WWE diva Melina. Yes, as you have heard, she was released by the WWE 2 weeks ago. But Melina is not giving up on her wrestling career. She's not giving up on the wrestling side of things. As a matter of fact, it appears that she's found a new wrestling home. It's not Impact. It's a wrestling company called WSU, which stands for Women Superstars Uncensored. It is the top woman wrestling organization here in the United States. Let's just say it features the woman that can actually wrestle, unlike WWE and their divas. But the point is, that's where she's going to be competing in on November 19th in New Jersey. And she'll be going one-on-one against fellow former WWE diva Serena. You may know Serena as a member of CM Punk's Straight Edge Society before she got released back in 2010. So it's the battle of the unemployed WWE divas on November 19th. It will be Melina versus Serena. That will be her first match since being released by the WWE. Now, because of the 60-day no compete clause. She can't wrestle for another company right away. So she has to wait until till November. So that should be right around 60-day mark when that SmackDown taking Melina doesn't need to go to TNA. I agree with you, Andrew, because their women division is already stacked with talent. You don't need any more women wrestlers in TNA. You got Mickie James, you got Angelina Love, you got Velvet Sky, you got the champion Winter, you got Tara, you got we got almost half of the women wrestlers came from the WWE. If you think about it, you got Tara, formerly known as Victoria, used to be in WWE. You got Mickie James, who used to be in the WWE. Let's face it, nobody heard of Mickie James when the first time she was on Impact. People heard of her when she was in the WWE. You also have Miss Tessmacher, who was known as Brooke from the Extreme Expose. She also used to be in the WWE. But then you got other wrestlers like Angelina Love. Oh, and let's not forget, you got Winter, who is currently the Knockouts champion. She too used to be in the WWE. But then you got Angelina Love, Velvet Sky. You got ODB. You got Jackie, another former WWE diva. Tracy Brooks. Of the case, she won't be able to work the indies. Yeah, she won't. She won't, because of that 60-day no compete clause. She won't be at the. She won't be able to wrestle until November. But in this WSU, and this WSU is an indie company. So, and they've already been signed and sealed. So she has agreed to compete in November 19th. So she's already good to go. She can make appearances, sign autographs and stuff. She just can't be wrestled during the 60-day no compete clause. Now, I have the follow-up story on Heath Slater. WWE has publicly distanced themselves from the alleged assault that WWE superstar Heath Slater is accused of carrying out over the WrestleMania weekend in Atlanta earlier this year. WWE spokesperson Jerry DeVette said that the alleged victim is making claims against Slater individually and is being investigated. He added that this had nothing to do with the WWE. The latest news is on the assault of security guard Carney Oliver. Had back pain since Slater put a chokehold and tried to take her into his hotel room. And the reason she didn't report it sooner because her employer failed to follow up on it. The assault is said that taking place between 4 to 5 a.m. on April the 4th in the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Atlanta, which was the day after WrestleMania 27. So, WWE is distant themselves. Yeah, the chick from Wendy's is in trouble, noticing why you haven't been seeing him in WWE as of late. You know, TNA has a lot more mainly big names from WWE, with the exception of Sting. Sting would never, it's never going to go to WWE. He made it clear he hates Vince McMahon's guts. Right now, Sting is his gimmick is from the Dark Knight, playing like the Joker. Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Obviously he's been inspired by Heath Ledger's character as Joker. That's why he got the face paint a little bit more crazy than usual.
Whose character?
Heath Ledger from.
Thank you. That's better. Thank you.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
You said Heath Ledger. What the fuck?
Heath. He's dead. What's the difference?
Hey.
Okay, Heath Ledger. from as Joker from the Dark Knight.
I'll tell you something. That son of a bitch did a great job with that role. With that Joker role.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger,
Yeah,
he did a fantastic job. I thought he was perfect for that role. He made that role look beautiful. And listen to me, I'm a big, huge Batman fan.
Mm-hmm.
Big Batman fan. I watched the fucking TV show growing up. I just love Batman growing up. Big Batman fan. He played the part the best I've ever seen any Joker play the Joker part.
I think that was his last movie.
That was his interpretation of Joker, and it was his last movie he ever made. Yep.
Yeah, that was.
In fact, he died before they finished making that movie. So some of that Joker stuff in there is not him.
Yeah.
It is him, but they did it with fucking, visual bullshit. You know what I mean?
And then he won an Academy Award for that the following year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, I got another story. If you work for TNA,
tits and ass. Go ahead.
You may not like this story because there is a wrestler who claimed that his paycheck has bounced, and his name is Jimmy Wang Yang. You may know him formerly from WWE.
Who?
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang Yang?
Yeah.
Little Jimmy?
No, not the Jimmy that R-Truth is saying.
Little Jimmy Wang Yang?
No, not that Jimmy.
Little Jimmy wanking his Yankee?
Anyway, Jimmy Yang, who he goes by now.
Perfect, thank you.
Jimmy Yang, who wrestled for TNA.
Jimmy Yang Wang.
Jimmy Yang Wang. And I actually met Jimmy.
You met Jimmy Yang Wang?
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang. Oh, it's Jimmy Wang Yang?
That's
just a funny name, dude.
Yes, that was his name when he was in the WWE.
I've been watching the WWE since I'm about 5 years old, and I don't remember no Jimmy Yang Wang or Jimmy Wang Yang or no nothing like that.
Well, that's because he was on SmackDown, which you don't watch so very much.
SmackDown is for fucking people who got nothing to do on Friday nights. Come on, I'm busy, for Christ's sakes.
Hey, I still watch SmackDown. I mean,
so that means you got nothing to do on Friday nights. Hey, I'm going to tell you a little secret.
Oh boy.
I got nothing to do on Friday nights either. I just keep forgetting what time it's on and where it's at.
Well, it's on 8 o'clock. It's at 5 o'clock your time. Well, it's at 8
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah.
See, they don't do that. The only way for me to do that is to go to the computer.
Yeah, if you want to watch it in the computer or whatever.
I do that on Monday nights, dude. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
On Monday Night Raw, I watch it. I watch the East Coast feed on my computer.
Yeah.
I watch it at 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock yours guys' time. So I'm watching at the same time you watch it. Because on Monday night, I can watch other shit. Instead of having to watch wrestling for 2 hours, I get to watch other shit because I've already seen it. So. And sometimes I'll go back and watch things, Because sometimes my computer will fucking miss a really killer shot and I miss it. So I'll go back and watch it again. I've been known to sit here and watch wrestling twice in one night.
Anyway, Jimmy Yang, who wrestled for TNA.
Jimmy Yang Wang. I love that, dude.
Jimmy Yang, who wrestled for TNA, former WWE superstar, he wrestled in TNA back in June in order to build up the Destination X pay-per-view, has claimed on his Twitter page that his paycheck for the show has bounced. He tweeted, "It's been over 6 weeks since I wrestled for TNA and I still haven't been paid, and the check that they sent me 2 weeks ago bounced. WTF."
Okay, how much was the check 2 weeks ago?
They didn't say the...
Okay, that's it right there. You got to find out how much that check was.
This tweet comes days after a report noting that TNA finances are in the black, so it would not impress TNA management to see.
They're going down, you know that, right?
Yeah, and Spike is going through some changes.
You're taking on King Kong, dude.
They're not
Okay?
even on Monday nights anymore, and
I know. They took on King. They're taking on King Kong.
Okay.
They're taking on King Kong of the wrestling world. That means Vince McMahon. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon is not going to let anything stand in his way of being number fucking one. So whoever is in his way, he's going to run right over them, right through them, any way he sees fit. Because he's King fucking Kong of that world. Okay? That's why their rating sucks. Because there's nothing but old motherfuckers on that goddamn thing. Yes, granted, they got some young people there. Yep. It's on tonight, ain't it?
Yeah, it's on tonight, 5 minutes.
As we get off the air, you go and watch it, right?
Yes, I do.
Not me. I won't even know what is it on? Spike TV?
He's on Spike.
I got other things to fucking do. Watch fucking that. It's like Friday Night SmackDown. It's not as popular as Monday night, so why bother fucking watching it? I like Monday night, and that's what I watch. You know, TNA is probably going to end up getting bankrupt and going out of business. You know that, right?
You know, that may
Then the
happen.
only thing for those wrestlers to do is either retire or go work for Vince McMahon. And he knows that. That's why he's King Kong, because he wants to be the only man in the biz. They have to come and work for him. No matter if you fucking hate the guy, you can't stand him, he's a son of a bitch. Yes, he is. But he's a businessman and he's a rich motherfucker, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. You know who one of his close friends is, right?
What's one of his...
Donald Trump?
Yeah, Trump.
One of his very close friends? Who do you think he learned all that shit from?
Man. I got another story from another former WWE wrestler. Who...
Okay, hold on. Dr. Myth, you actually think that that Kurt Angle is once TNA goes out of business, you actually think that Kurt Angle is going to go wrestle on the indie circuit?
Well,
yeah, right. You think Jeff Jarrett's going to go wrestle on the indie circuit? Lots of luck.
Yeah, probably for security reasons or whatever. They're household names. They want to be paid big on the indie circuit, and you know, people just can't afford those guys. You know, they're not chips off the block. They just they legends.
They're fucking old already, man.
You know, they've already fulfilled everything that they have ever accomplished.
Come on, they're fucking old already.
Yeah,
you know?
Angle is old, and yet in come 2012 he wants to compete in the 2012 Olympics.
I hope he does. I hope he does, and I hope he gets his ass beat.
You sure?
I really do.
What you got against Kurt Angle?
He's too fucking old. It's a young man's fucking game. Know when to get out of the fucking business. That's your goddamn problem, people.
Well, it's not like Kurt Angle is slowing down. I mean, he still could compete against anybody. It's not like one of those. It's not like a wrestler who passed his prime. He's still...
Hey, I say the same thing about Sting. I say the same thing about Jeff Jarrett. Those motherfuckers shouldn't be wrestling.
Well, you might, and Impact's gonna hang on to those guys for as long as they can.
That's right, because they're their fucking bread and butter. As soon as they lose those guys, you know what happens to Impact, don't you? Good night, Irene, and they fucking know it. Why do you think they brought Hulk Hogan over there?
Hogan's not even in wrestling. He's just
I know
sitting there.
He's the promoter
of
this whole goddamn thing. Right. They need these big names over there to allure the attention, where Vince McMahon doesn't.
He's got young guys.
And believe it or not,
he got the Bucks too.
He's got the Bucks, and he's bringing up young talent. And he really is.
And those young talent are succeeding thus far.
Yeah, look at fucking Morrison. Okay, I'm gonna even throw the Miz in there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can't stand the son of a bitch, but he got to go in. Del Rio, I can't stand, but he's got to go in there. Okay, Jack Swagger, he's got to go in there. Dolph Ziggler, he's got to go in there. Those are 5 solid guys that they brought up
from the ground up.
Yeah, those are 5 solid guys that'll be a long time pros because they're young. What? All of them are in their fucking either mid to late 20s.
Yeah, mid to late
right?
20s.
Mid to late 20s, or maybe just early 30s.
Yeah.
Right. So they got long careers ahead of them.
All right, I got one more story before we get out of here. Recent release superstar David Hart Smith noted on his Facebook page that he does not share the views of his mother, Diana Hart Smith, who recently went on Twitter rant against WWE announcer Michael Cole and called him a whore. Harry wrote, in regards to my mom's Twitter remarks about Michael Cole in the WWE, these are only her opinions. She expressed it. I hold no ill feelings towards the WWE, and I don't want it to look like I'm influencing these posts in any shape or form. I'm a man of honor and integrity. I try to be like my grandfather Stu Hart. If I have something to say about someone, I say it to their face. I really dislike Twitter, so I can't post this myself on there. That's from David Hart Smith on his Facebook, not Twitter. The Hart family in WWE, they never get along anyway, ever since Bret Hart and the Montreal Screwjob. So that's nothing new. We're about to go ahead and get on out of here, and thank you everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Don't forget, Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C, Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. That will be 12 noon Pacific. And then we're moving to Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on September 3rd. But Triple Threat Wrestling Radio for the time being will remain on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. So thank you everyone for listening. We will see you this Saturday on Chillin'. We'll see you next week right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. You all have a good night.
Night, guys. See you, Kenny.
All right.